I'm not very good at cueing you guys to applause. I'll just say thank you from now on. I feel warm still inside. This one's called 929.2. I wonder if he tells strangers that he has 4 children or 5. I love that unspoken one, though she is absent from photographs, though she is the woman imagining in the attic, a stakeout in a film, the Greeks besieging Troy, an umbrella under arm, the book assigned to poetry that longs to join the laureates' nonfiction. I read this poem a couple weeks ago when hosting here, and only Max Tell laughed, but I'm going to read it again. It's a poem about my grandfather, and I'd like my dad to hear it, assuming he's out there somewhere. There he is. Okay, we're good. It's called An Account. My grandfather, a Navy officer, fought the Nazis with double entry accounting. They let him work close to the water in the Navy, but never on it. His mathematical skills were too valuable to risk putting afloat. His calculations did not end the war, he says modestly, but I know the power of a column of digits. The Navy only put him to sea twice, both times on a BC ferry between Vancouver Island and the mainland. As the seagulls and furs rolled past the portholes, he must have been so grateful to be a punchline. The next poem is called FVR, which are the initials of my great-great-grandfather, Frederick, for some reason, Vine Rainsford. And he was the one he wrote an entire catalog of the family history covering 400 years, which helped me a lot doing some research. In late summer, the dry earth awaiting autumn's phlegmatic cough, my great-great-grandfather Frederick put steel nib to paper for the inquiring editor of the Genealogist to record the Rainsford tree, or at least a capillary network of roots 3 centuries tangled. Why the 4th son was chosen for the writing is not clear. Was he the hoarder of stories? The book-borrowing night scribbler who dreamed buds of poetry blossoming on the Cockney north banks of the River Thames? His soldier forebear, transplanted there in Civil War from Clifford Chambers, branching for Parliament and buried, governmentally, in the crypt, a captain of the Tower Guards. I wonder at my ancestral accent, that English totem and pass, but Victorian Frederick Vine followed formal tradition, ignoring feminine gossip, and withheld all but necessary dates of birth, of death, of wedlock, and of offspring, forcing me to define sine prole online, means dying without children. Few occupations are entered in his schoolish notes, military ranks being the glorious exception in those lotus days of empire. Frederick enciphered daughters and wives, ingraining birth town and parentage but hiding their traits under bark. Even long ago Sir Henry's title earns no comment for his Virginia enterprise or his playwright neighbor in Stratford-upon-Avon. Frederick could not imagine another design. While he pondered, his daughter babbled. His wife bore fruit, and he hoped that son would go far. Words he would regret. But the new world had not yet to the tree been firmly grafted.